Toggles are really nice. Let me go to a web page that I have that currently has all my toggles available right here. So as you can see on this particular home or this particular desktop page, this has all 4 of the toggles available. So what toggles do for you is it allows you to turn on and off features on the phone without actually going into the settings menu, which is really handy, say if you want to put it in airplane mode. So you can just hit that. Now the phone's in airplane mode and it will not receive any data or phone calls. Select that again. It turns it off of airplane mode. You can also, obviously, you can always hit the power button on the top of the phone up here, and this will give you that same option for airplane mode. But instead of doing that, you could just have the toggle, especially if you fly a lot. To get out of this phone options mode, you just press the return key. This here is the GPS. It allows for additional features for GPS navigation. You can toggle that on and off. This one I also have the Bluetooth toggle. That's handy. Turning that on and off is handy if you're not using your headset and you want to save battery life. Same thing for the wireless. What wireless does is it allows you to specify a local wireless network to give you a little bit more bandwidth, because otherwise the phone's operating on its cell phone network. What the wireless does is it switches to the local network for your company or your home or wherever, or to Starbucks, wherever you are. And it gives you a lot more speed for your phone. So if you're web browsing and stuff like that, and you're using that network versus the cell phone network, I usually leave that off by default because it uses battery life. Another handy widget that's available, if we press the home button here to go back to the main page, I'm going to go ahead and delete this by pressing and holding it, dragging it down to the trash, press and hold the desktop again, go to Motorola widgets. I like the messages widget a lot. And you can choose comp view, text messages, all of the above. I just usually use text messaging. You can do the widget title. You can show only for a day, etc. You hit done. It'll display this on the screen. So again, you can press and hold, move the position. It'll also give you a box to draw. I'm going to move it actually over the top right hand corner here. I'm going to draw it out like this to take up that many spaces. You can also make it larger too, assuming you didn't have the icons here. Like if I didn't have Gmail and email, I could draw it down even further so I can see more of the message. This creates like a message preview. So here I can see previewed messages from text messages, which is really nice. You can preview messages, say if your phone notifies you that you have a new text message. It comes in really handy. As you can see here, it notified me, and then it shows up in the notification window there. I just sent myself a text message from my email account. So I can do a couple of things here. I can tap on it. It'll show me where it's from and what happened and what the text message is about. I can choose to reply, or I could just simply hit the return key and it takes it out of there. You'll notice at the top it also removed the text message notifications. So this widget's pretty powerful. It does manage the notifications as well as allow you to preview a new incoming message. You can also set this messages for your email as well. So if you didn't want to go into the email application, an email will appear here. Those are just a couple of widgets. There are several different types of widgets available. So if we press and hold on the desktop here, Motorola has made several of them. As I've showed earlier, there's a date and time one. There are toggles, there are news widgets, there are picture widgets, social networking if you use that, all sorts of different things, the weather. Now let's go ahead and demonstrate connecting to a PC. We start by taking the PC cable, which is presented here, this cable here, and then on the other end of the cable you want to ensure that it's disconnected from the powered supply and looks like this. So that way you can plug it into a USB port. So we'll go ahead and plug that in on the computer. And then we'll take this little mini USB cable and plug it into the side of the phone like this. Now, on the side of the phone here, there are two ports. One is an HDMI port, which is for video output, and then the other is for, as well as picture output, and the other is for connecting power or to USB to the computer. So let's go ahead and plug in this mini USB adapter into there. Now you need to make sure that when you plug this in that you actually match up the groove with the bottom of the slot, if you can see that there. So we'll go ahead and it's this direction here, and then you plug it in. The phone will chime, indicating, and as you can see it's popped up on the computer over there as well. We'll move that out of the way. The phone will chime, and then the computer will display a pop-up message, basically indicating that it is now connected to a computer. So now, in order to manage the USB connectivity options, we must go into the notification area and change this to the desired setting. So if we pull down the notification bar, we'll see USB connection. Select to manage media and data sync on your computer. So if we tap that, then we have 4 different options available. Charge only, basically, well, start from the top. PC mode will essentially switch it to PC mode, and then it'll allow you to use an application called VZ Sync Manager, which is written by both Motorola, or you can use the Moto Helper, which will allow you to use an application to manage your media that way. Windows Media Sync, which will synchronize with Windows Media Player and allows you to manage only multimedia files that way. You can't manage standard data. USB mass storage, which is the most common way, that basically just turns your phone into a hard drive or a thumb drive, and you can browse the files that way. That's how I use it. And charge only, which basically just charges the phone, and it won't enable any sort of drive mapping to your SD card on the device or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and use this in USB mass storage mode and then hit OK. And also to note too, so then if I unplug this, the next time I plug it in, it'll go to USB mass storage mode. It remembers the last mode you selected and goes to that as the default mode. So when you connect the device to the computer and you choose USB mass storage, 2 windows will pop up depending on which operating system you're in. The first one will be your autoplay message, which I just moved to the forefront here. Yeah, and this is on your computer actually. So on the autoplay message, we'd want to use open folder to view files. That'll pop up a window that'll allow us to browse the device. So if I move this over here, now you can see all the different folders that are actually on the SD storage device on the phone. The other thing that comes up is this autoplay by Motorola. This allows you to install the embedded Motorola Helper application that's included with the phone, which allows you to manage it that way. I'll refer you to the instructions for the Motor Helper in order to use that application accordingly. However, just basic usage of this phone, you only need to use it in USB mass storage mode where you'd actually browse the files like that. Actually, let's go back here and go to the removable disk like you would for a thumb drive. This is how we typically want to browse it. The only real folder of importance here is the DCIM folder. The DCIM folder is where your phone stores all the camera photos as well as videos. So as you can see in here, I have downloaded the CompView photos to my DCIM folder on the SD card, and they'll now show up under Gallery. This folder is available out on the network under F Shared Marketing CompView Photos. You just drag and drop the whole folder over to your phone and you're done. but you want to make sure you place it under DCIM, otherwise it will not show up on the phone. That's pretty much it when it comes to folders. You can manage folders for other, or you could also use this to, you can drag and drop all these folders and files to a save folder on your desktop to back up the phone. So that's pretty much how that works. It's important to note that the Droid X does not have a tether option for the PC. It instead uses what they call a wireless hotspot. However, that service needs to be enabled by Verizon for you to use it. Instead, what we can do is we can download an application called PDANet, which will allow us to use the built-in data on the phone, basically piggyback that to view web pages and various things on the internet on the PC. It basically shares the data on your phone. To download that, you would go to the launcher icon, go down to Market. Now you need to set up a Google account in order to use the Market. Go down to Market, hit search, and type in PDANet. Search. And you can download either PDANet. It looks like there's another application here called Easy Tether Lite. Both these types of applications will actually turn your phone into a tether, and it uses the shared data plan, and it's free of charge. The drawback to these kind of applications, however, is that when you have them enabled, you can't view secure websites. So you wouldn't be able to look up your bank account or something like that, or some sort of secure government site, or anything that uses a secure technology. But most websites will come up just like normal on the PC. You can, however, buy the Pro version of PDANet. It's a one-time charge that will allow you to browse everything. They don't turn off any ports or anything like that. Go ahead and press the home key. Also, too, I should point out that that Market will also allow you to download other applications. So anytime you want to look for a new application, there are several different applications that'll take the place of your calendar, for example, a lot more robust, and they are free. A lot of them will say free here. You can download those applications. You can download different web browsers and stuff like that. Be very careful about downloading new applications, as it can affect the functionality of the phone. And if it ultimately ends up halting the functionality of the phone, or diminishing performance, we might have to wipe the phone in order to clear it off. So be mindful of the applications that you do download. So press the home key to get back to the desktop here. And then we can simply remove the cord. It'll say preparing SD card, and it's now available on the Droid X. Now, it's important to also note too, there are some applications that will not work, as well as the camera won't be able to pull up your photos and stuff like, or the gallery will not be able to pull up your photos and such when you're connected to a PC. And the reason for that is only one device can have access to that memory card at a time. So it's either the phone or the PC. And if the PC takes over the control of the built-in memory card on this phone, then it can no longer use it. It can use its own functionality, and it can make or place calls, stuff like that, but it can't view any sort of data. This has been a demonstration of the general settings, as well as USB connectivity to the PC functionality on the Droid X smartphone. I hope you find this informative, and thank you for watching.